These broader market stocks itself. Greenlam Industries is the first management on the show today. The company reported a revenue growth of almost 17% and EBITDA growth of nearly 12.8% as well, implying margins of around 13.5%. Remember, the earlier guidance of the company for growth was around 20-25%. Let's see what the company has to guide for now for the next year itself. Saurabh Mittal, who's the MD and CEO of the company, now joins in. Thanks a lot, Saurabh, for joining in. That's really the first question. You had earlier guided for 20% in FY24. Obviously, because of the challenges, you fell short at around 14%. Right. You had a target of 20-25% growth in FY25. So would you stick to that right now? And what would your margin estimate for the next year be?
Right. So FY25, we should be looking at about a 20% plus minus growth, for this year, considering the new capacities which came on stream in FY24. So yes, it should be in that range, I guess, unless something comes up. Yeah, we should be able to grow about 20% in this financial year.
Okay, 20% in FY25 is the kind of growth that you're looking at. I just want to understand a little more about how business is shaping up in terms of demand, because this is a space that is growing very rapidly. But in this entire space, right, whether it is laminates, decorative veneers and all that you do, plywood, etc., where are you seeing maximum scope now over the next, say, 12 to 18 months? And what kind of growth rates are you seeing in individual verticals?
Well, hard to give you, individual growth rates, but I think we'll grow across all the categories and segments we're present in, whether it's laminates, domestic, laminates, exports, the decorative veneer, flooring door business. The plywood business is relatively new to us, so we'll grow there too. We'll be starting a particle board plant sometime in Q3. So I think that'll also add to some revenues. So we see growth happening across categories, across geographies. On the demand side, while you say it's growing very fast, but on ground, the domestic demand has been challenging. And even the export demand has been challenging, backed with a large shipment problem to the western part of the world due to the Red Sea. But having said that, we still have been able to, grow the business well, I would say, in Q4 and last financial year. Yeah, for this year,
let's get a little more. Yeah, go ahead.
No, for this year, we'll expect growth across categories.
Growth across categories. So let's get a little more specific, because realizations the full year were largely flat in the laminates business. We saw a decline of 0.6%. In veneers, there was an increase of around 1.4% in realization. So what is the sort of volume and realizations that you're gunning for in both these segments in the next financial year? And you briefly spoke about domestic and exports as well. So what's the mix that you're targeting this year?
Right. So FY24 volumes, I think we grew, double digit across all the categories: laminates, veneer, flooring, doors. Ply was a new category, so not much benchmarks. I think we grew double digit across all categories. And on the realization front, despite, again, the challenges and the volume increase, I think we've had a lot of pricing discipline. We improved value mix. So you don't see much, reduction on the price realizations across categories again. FY25 too, I think we should be growing, volume terms, double digits across all the categories.
Okay. So as this growth comes along for the business, right, what are we looking at in terms of debt? Do you think you may have to take on more debt, over and above what you're already sitting on? And what's the absolute debt right now?
So net debt, FY24 was about 835 crores approximately. And FY25, that might go up a little bit because we have to complete the capital expenditure and the plant at the Andhra Pradesh for the particle board. In FY24, we started 2 greenfield projects. And we did an expansion at the plant we had acquired in Gujarat. So we had, so we had a significant amount of capitalization happening in FY24. FY25 will start the greenfield plant of particle boards in Andhra Pradesh. So that might go up a bit this year, post which we see, a reduction happening in the debt.
So what are you comfortable with in terms of the maximum debt equity ratio? What is the comfort zone now?
So we are okay at the position we are in right now. It's like 0.75 or 0.8 debt equity. So we're okay with this. And some of these projects, are high capital expenditure projects, especially the particle board business. And even the laminate business, we built a larger plant because if you see the quantity growth programs plan we have, we'll again need to expand, hopefully, in FY26 So yes, so we're okay with where we are. Once these projects come to stream, we'll have reduction in debt happening.
All right. So let's talk about these projects coming into stream and increasing the utilization as well. So it's a two-part question here. One, earlier, you said that at peak utilization, the revenue potential for all of this could be around 3,000 to 3,500 crores. And there is a delay and a cost overrun in your particle board project in Andhra Pradesh. You've increased your capacity or announced an increase in capacity along with an increase in cost as well. So what does that mean in terms of incremental revenues? This 3,500 crores which was there, where does that restated number stand at, and by when do you reach it?
So we had said, I think, if I remember correctly, 3,500 to 3,600 crores on a near full capacity of the investments we've done. And now with the expanded capacity or additional capacity of particle boards and some other, gradual improvements in price mix, that number looks to be about 4,000 odd crores. Of the investments we've done and will complete in FY25, which probably will happen maybe by FY28 maybe, so we at 25. So about 3 to 4 years, we should be, in that space.
And by then, what would the margins look like?
Well, so if you see the numbers of FY24, we've have elevated costs of manpower, marketing. 2 new plants have got capitalized as high interest and depreciation costs. So clearly, if you achieve those volumes, we should see improvements in margins across categories.
In the residential segment, just wanted to understand, has the growth picked up a lot across maybe this decorative veneer segment, the engineered doors and frame segment? I'm asking because, there is this big boom that we're seeing in real estate right now, but has that even translated to businesses like yours? And if yes, could you help us just quantify what the demand and the growth has been in the residential space over the last 1 year?
Right. So we do think that there should be a big demand happening, in the residential space. We haven't seen that as yet. When I speak to our customers, our teams, and with understanding, the sense I get is that a lot of this construction which has happened, projects which have been announced or which is happening will come for interior fit outs maybe 9 to 12 months from now, or maybe H2 of this year. So yes, if you take a next 2 to 3 year, 4 year view, things look attractive because so much of construction in residences have happened through the country, are happening, and all these apartments, homes will need interior products, and all the categories we're present in. It kind of has a demand, has a space, in these homes. So whether it's doors, flooring, veneer, laminates, facade laminates. So yes, as we talk right now, we haven't seen that surge in demand yet. I think we're still struggling to win more market share. But I think moving ahead, we probably should see better demand coming in.
Quickly leave us with just 2 numbers. One, veneers, you were speaking about profitability that has happened. You've broken even. By when do veneer margins go, in line with what your overall margins are? That's point number 1. And secondly, plywood capacity utilization was 14%. You're scaling that business up.
Right.
What does that capacity utilization be at this year? So capacity utilization of plywood and veneer margins.
So capacity utilization of plywood should improve. We're present in only one part of the country, and we launched the product in June 23. So we should see improvement happening, Q and Q in the plywood business. Veneer flooring doors, we have become EBITDA positive, and we should see improvements happening there too. And in fact, even the new laminate factory we started in September 23 has become EBITDA positive in Q4. So I think across segments, across manufacturing units, we should keep seeing improvement, I think, as we move ahead. Can't give an absolute number or a timeline to you, but clearly I think there should be improvement happening.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in, and all the best for the future. We'll slip into a quick break. On the other side,